welcome to the new section on how to make money on TikTok. This section is going to be super interesting. First of all, there's many more ways to generate revenue, make money on TikTok than there is on other platforms, which is what makes this section very interesting. We're going to cover many different ways to make money, but also we're going to dive very deep into how to make money promoting other people's products, other companies' products, like influencer marketing or affiliate marketing. So we'll do some case studies and dive deep into those, but we'll mention all the other ways of making money on TikTok as well. If you're ready, let's get started. Right now, there's already a ton of people making a lot of money on TikTok. Some people even live completely off of the revenue they can generate on the platform. The good news is that the trend is moving in a positive direction, meaning more people are making more and more money, and this is only going to improve going forward. In this particular lecture, we're going to discuss all the different ways you can make money right now, and some ways where soon we anticipate or we predict you're going to be able to make money on TikTok. By the end of the lecture, you'll understand what are the different options for you and what's the best option in order to get started to generate revenue and make money on TikTok. The first and the most common way to make money is to sell other people's products. This is how most of the people on TikTok make money right now. And there's two main ways to do that. Number one is to do what we call influencer marketing. So when a company will pay people that are big creators on TikTok, it doesn't have to be big, sometimes there are small creators as well, but it tends to be larger. A company will pay creators to promote their products, very simple. The other one is affiliate marketing. So we're going to dive deeper into both of these, influencer and affiliate, in the next lecture. These are the biggest ones, the most popular, and that's what we're going to focus on the most, but I just want to quickly mention it over here. If you want to find any influencer campaign on TikTok, it's actually very simple. You go to the Discover tab, click on search, and then look up ad. The thing is, every single paid advertising or influencer campaign needs to be marked as hashtag ad. That's a legal policy. And then you want to click on hashtags, and then select the first one. And this is going to show us all the videos that are tagged with hashtag ad. And they're ordered by the popularity. So the more views they have, the higher at the top they will be. So at the very first one, I'm going to click over here. We can see this very first video is from Zach King. Zach is a huge creator on TikTok. And as you can see, this is a promotion for a movie. The movie called Doolittle. I think that's the movie. And they're using a hashtag talk to animals as well. This is the video that Zach has created. He's a very fun creator. He does a lot of video editing and sort of visual, as you can see over here. I'm going to keep scrolling. This one is for Samsung Galaxy. As you can see, there's a dance video. Another Zach King campaign from Kind Snacks. And you can scroll through and basically see it's for the Cash app. So yeah, basically if you want to see what current campaigns are happening for influencers, you can check out the hashtag ad. The second most popular way to make money on TikTok is to promote your own products. So whether you're an influencer and you can design and create products, for example, Avani, she's a big creator and she has a line of merchandise, like clothing that she sells. That's another option that you can do. Or also big companies, for example, Bosch is a B2B company that sells tools, and Bosch they have their own account and they'll sell their own product. So that's another option. You can sell your own products. The third option is song promotion. So if you are a music creator, you probably know of TikTok because All Time Road, #1 song in the world, blew up on TikTok and completely changed the way music industry is looking at TikTok as a promotion tool. So as a musician, you can promote your own songs. And we're going to do a case study on All Time Road in the next lecture. But you can also reach out to influencers and other people and ask them to use your song. If you are a creator yourself, and once you hit a certain number, it is very likely that you're going to be contacted by producers and music creators who will ask you to create videos with their song. So another option is how you can monetize your audience by creating songs and then charging the creators or the producers. Our fourth option is doing live sessions. So on TikTok, if you have more than 1,000 followers, you can do TikTok Live, just like Instagram Live. It's very simple. You can do TikTok Live. Many creators are choosing to use this option as well. And then during the TikTok Live, people can give you gifts. And these are gifts, digital gifts, but they have to buy them with real money. So inside the TikTok app, people can buy gifts. And then during a live session, they can donate these gifts to you. And as soon as you reach $50 in gifts, you can actually take this out and put it into your PayPal account. So generally, this is not a huge way to make money. Most of the creators that have tried this have generated small amounts. It's 50 or 100 bucks or 200. Originally, it was intended for music creators. That's how it sort of all started. That musicians could do live concerts and then fans could give them gifts that could be later exchanged for cash. This is something that we might see happen more and more often, but as of right now, it's a fairly small way to generate revenue. I know some creators who, for example, for fun, they would do a TikTok live and they would record themselves while they went to sleep. So they would fall asleep and just have the thing on the whole time, not showing anything, just showing them sleeping. And there are some people that made some money, not big amounts of money, but some people that made whatever, 100, 200 bucks just by going to sleep. The next option is growing TikTok accounts and then selling them for profit. Now, this is not huge on TikTok just yet, but we know that it happens quite a bit on Instagram. People grow an account, popular account, to 100,000 followers, 500,000 followers, and then they can sell that for profit because they know maybe a company can use that account, or somebody else who has a product can use that account and promote that product. So if you don't have a specific product, it might be a really good option to actually grow an account. Right now is a really great opportunity to grow a TikTok account organically. I'm not aware of any marketplaces where you can sell accounts. I know there's places where you can do that, for example, with Instagram. If you grow an account, you can sell it because there's a certain amount of attention you can get from it. But if you don't have a product of your own, or you don't want to sell other people's products, that's another option where you can grow an account and then eventually sell it off. Again, this doesn't happen as much on TikTok right now, but it's probably going to happen more and more often, as is something that we've seen on Instagram already before. Another option is to do consulting. So first of all, you have to approve yourself that you can grow your own account. So step number one would be to grow an account to a reasonable chunk of people. Let's say if you get 100,000 followers, 500,000 followers, sort of a decent sign of followers, you can then help others do the same. So you can be sort of a consultant. Again, this could happen either for individuals. So some people might be willing to give you money and just help to get them coaching, one-on-one coaching, to grow their personal account. Or you could also become a consultant for companies and help them grow their own accounts. This already happened several times where a company, they don't know how to use TikTok themselves, but they know it's a very important social media. They want to be present on it, but they don't know what to do, or they tried it, they're not getting much traction. So what they sometimes will do is they'll reach out to other creators and ask them for help to grow their account. And you basically become a one-on-one consultant or a coach, and you can charge on hourly basis. This is not huge right now, but as more companies will come into the platform, this will become more and more, it'll become more and more frequent. It'll be another way to generate revenue. And the final option is a bit of a trick one because it's not an option as of yet. So right now you cannot generate revenue by just getting views. For example, on Twitch, the streaming service for gaming, or on YouTube, you get paid directly for views. The more views you have, for example, on YouTube, then there's YouTube ads, and you take a certain cut of these ads. This is not an option on TikTok just yet. There's something we might see in the future, and I'm mentioning it just because it has been talked about a lot in the media recently, but we don't have a confirmed communication from TikTok about this, so we don't know for sure yet. But basically, the bigger your account would be, the more revenue you would be able to generate. But it's not an option just yet. All right, so these are all the different ways to make money. Just to recap, we talked about that you could sell other people's products through influencer marketing or affiliate marketing. That's the first option. Second one is you can sell your own products. Basically, if you're a company, you can sell your own products, or if you can create products as an influencer, you can do that. So that's the second option. The third one is song promotion, whether you are a musician and you want to promote your own music, or you can promote other people's music. The fourth one is live sessions. Again, if you can stream live, receive gifts from your audience. Not a very big amount of money right now, but it is an option. That was the fourth one. The fifth one is you can grow accounts and then sell them off. So that's option number 5. Sixth one is consulting other people and doing one-on-one coaching, how to grow other people's businesses. These are the 6 ways you can make money on TikTok right now. There's more ways than any other social media platform. And right now is an opportunity where you can grow your account very fast organically. So it's a really, really good opportunity, even if you start at the very beginning. And the 7th possible option in the future might be just like on YouTube or Twitch, where you get money directly for views and money comes from advertising revenue. So these are the 6 and potential 7 ways you can make money on TikTok right now. We're going to do some case studies in the next lectures, and we're also going to dive deeper into influencer marketing and affiliate marketing and how you can make more money by promoting other people's products. So that's what the rest of the section is dedicated to. As I mentioned before, promoting other people's products is one of the biggest and most popular ways to make money on TikTok. Some of the biggest brands like BMW or Chipotle, the fast food company, do campaigns on TikTok, all the way down to many small companies that do influencer marketing. In this lecture, we're going to take a look at how much you can expect to get paid for influencer campaign, how to get started, and in the next lecture, we're going to look at exactly how you can get a gig. By the end of this lecture, you'll understand what are the requirements and what's the process for starting your influencer career. Influencer marketing is basically when a company pays you to promote a product to your audience. That's the very basic level. Now, the first thing you need to understand that since TikTok is a new platform, in general, the creators on TikTok get paid less than other platforms. So on average, I mean, there's nuances, but on average, YouTube creators tend to get paid the most. Then it's, for example, Instagram and those kind of influencers, and then there is TikTok. So TikTok influencers do get paid less. The biggest reason is just because it's a new platform. There's not many companies that are on it yet, so it will take time. The average price that influencers get paid will go up over time, but as of right now, it is quite low. Now, one of the reasons why YouTubers get paid so much is because YouTube is a search engine. So if you post a video, it's going to remain on YouTube, and if a company pays for a video to be promoted, that video was going to stay there. It'll keep getting views because it's ranked in the search engine. As of on Instagram, if an Instagrammer posts an Instagram story, that video is going to be there for 24 hours, and then it's down, and that's it, and then nobody's going to see it afterwards. Now, TikTok is kind of in the middle. Right now, if you post a video, it's going to be seen at first, but it also will, good videos keep getting views afterwards. One of the reasons that happens is because right now there's more demand than there's actual content. So I think over time we're going to see that the prices on TikTok are going to be closer to the prices on YouTube. So if you're wondering how much you can get paid as a creator, well, first of all, there is no golden rule for how much you can get paid. There are estimators I'm going to show you, but the thing is they're wildly inaccurate and there's massive differences, what they'll tell you. So you'll put in your username, they'll take in your views and your engagement, and they'll estimate how much you can get paid. But I've checked some of them, and to be honest, I wouldn't really rely on these. Now, I've both been an influencer myself, where I was paid to do a campaign. For example, I was a sponsored athlete by Red Bull, but also I was on the other side as a company where I've ran hundreds of influencer campaigns where I would pay the influencers to promote a product from my company. And honestly, these estimators are not very accurate. They usually way overestimate how much you can get paid. I don't know what are the algorithms that go into creating the estimators, but basically, I mean, you're going to get paid as much as a company is going to offer. Like at the end of the day, the company has the power. Right now, there are many, many more influencers looking to get paid than there are companies looking to pay. So it is really, the leverage is on the company's side because they have many, many more choices than you as an influencer will have. You can, of course, negotiate with them a little bit, but honestly, unless you are a very, very big influencer, you're not going to have much negotiating power. Now, in terms of when you should start doing deals with companies, the short answer is that the longer you're going to postpone, the more you're going to grow, and the more you're going to be pure, and the easier it's going to be for you. If you try to monetize your audience too early, they're going to sense that you're doing it for money, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If you put in too many ads as well, they're going to sort of have the sense that you're not creating it for the fun of the creation, the videos, you're just sort of posting videos to make money. Is going to become very obvious. Again, there's no rule like number is like at 1,000 followers or 10,000, 100,000 or a million to start getting brand deals. It really depends on what's your plan, what's your objective. Ideally, the longer you postpone it, the better it's going to be. One thing you need to keep in mind is that whenever you do a deal with a company as an influencer and you post a video, you always have to include the hashtag ad. So hashtag ad needs to be included in the video description. That is a legal requirement, and it sort of separates the normal content that you do for fun versus the content that is sponsored by a company. So here is one TikTok money calculator. You can put in a username, and I've put it in. I put Matthew Hussey. He creates dating advice. As you can see, it has 600,000 followers. And this website will tell me that he can make, well, first of all, there's a mistake because it says max earning per post is 92,000 and minimum 125,000. I don't know why the minimum is bigger than the max. So that's the first mistake, but also I've seen a couple of other platforms and they all show a wildly different number. I checked another platform, that one showed me about $10,000 per post. So really, I wouldn't use these estimators as anything accurate. I've seen several of them and they're all wildly different. They only take in the number of followers. The thing is, what you need to consider is that when a company hires an influencer, they also really look at the demographics. So what's the age of your users, for example, what's the location? Obviously, if your users are in the United States, you're going to get more money than if your users or if your followers are in, for example, Pakistan, just because it's cheaper to advertise in Pakistan, price will be lower. Also, if your audience, maybe if they are people with higher income on average, and maybe, let's say, some in the average age of 35, they might have more disposable income than a 16-year-old, just an example. So your followers is not the only thing matter. The really thing that is also going to matter for the company is what kind of an audience you have, what are the demographics and the psychographics of your audience. And obviously, there needs to be a match between you and the company. In the next lecture, we're going to take a look at how exactly you can get a gig from a company as an influencer. You might be surprised, but as an influencer, you have several different ways to get an influencer gig from a company. In this lecture, we're going to cover the three main options how you can get a job, and then what is the actual process, the approach. By the end of the lecture, you'll know what is the best part for you, and what's based on your current numbers and followers, your goals, what is the best way to get an influencer gig from a company. The first thing to mention is that there isn't a sort of threshold or a rule of thumb number, like at which point can you start working with companies. Really, technically, you can start at the lowest level possible, but the more followers you have, the easier it'll be to speak with companies, to get gigs, and to negotiate with the different companies. On TikTok, a lot of the influencers say that by around 100,000 followers, they start to get more and more opportunities for cooperation with companies, sort of influencer jobs. So you can sort of keep that number in mind. Maybe 100,000 followers, you'll start to see more opportunities. But there are three main ways how you can reach companies and get influencer gig. Number one is a direct DM, so you can send a message and find the company. I'm going to cover all of these in the detail. Number two is using a platform, and number three, using an agency or an agent. So the first way to get a gig is directly reach to a company through a DM on TikTok. Obviously, not all companies are on TikTok, so you can only deal with a company that's already there. You should only deal with companies that you know personally, ideally companies that you, products that you've tried, companies that you can trust yourself. You don't want to promote something that you can't trust, and maybe a bad company. It's often a good sign for you and also for your followers. So a great example of a company that does a lot of these is Chipotle. It's a fast food company in the US. And over here we have the Chipotle profile. And as you can see, what they do on their profile, basically they just repost content from influencers and from other people on their page. So if you have a certain amount of followers and it's beneficial for Chipotle to, maybe they'll be interested in paying you, and then you could create content for them. Now, I've been on the side of both as an influencer where I was paid through campaigns, and also I was on the side of the company where I paid influencers to run campaigns for me. Now, one piece of advice I would have is, first, when you reach out to the company, don't just say you want to work with them and leave it at that. Ideally, companies are looking for creative people that really want to work with the brands. So when you reach out to them and you send a message, first of all, include whatever experience you might have with the company. You could say you've known the company for X amount of time, you love the product, and say why you want to work with the company. Companies do want to know why you want to work with them, and they will look at you very differently if you actually have a real reason. And number two is have a suggestion what kind of content you would already do. So take a sort of a step ahead, and in the very first message, already say that you're thinking of doing this and this with their product. This is how you want to showcase it. Maybe you want to do 3 different videos, and the more initiative you take, the more you're going to show them that you want this, the more likely it is that they're going to consider it. Even though maybe you have not as many followers, maybe you have a small number of followers, but one way to really stand out is to reach out to a company and say why you want to do it, and tell them what exactly is it that you want to do. As a company, I've received so many messages from influencers that just say, hey, I would love to work with you, and that's it. And honestly, that's not very impressive. And as a company, you get a lot of these, and we don't even consider so many of them. So first, we look at if the influencer is within our target group. Then we'll read the message, and then we only look at, for example, how many followers they have, what kind of engagement, and all these things. But if somebody would really take initiative and be creative, or even ideally already make the video, don't post it, but make the video that you would make with the product, share with the company, and say that if they're willing to do an influencer deal with you, then you can post the content. That's the absolutely best way to do it. I see so few influencers that actually do this, that really put in the effort. And yes, not all companies are going to say yes. It's going to take more effort, but you're actually much more likely to land a deal with a company if you go ahead and put in all of this effort up front. This happened to me a few times as a company. Influencers would reach out, that do all these things. I would even create the content and then send it to me before they post it. And every time an influencer did it, I ended up doing a deal with them and paying them, even if their follower numbers weren't all that huge. The second option is that you can join a platform. So over here, I have one example, is a tribegroup.co. So as an influencer, you could go ahead and join as a creator. And this is a platform where companies will post their influencer gigs, and then you can apply for them. You can create the campaigns, and the company can select what kind of campaigns they like and what they want to work with. So in this specific campaign, you'll have to first create the actual ad without getting paid, and if a company chooses you, only then you get paid. So you have to do some work up front, but then it's really good for the companies because they get to sort of test out what kind of creatives they can expect. So this is one example. You can check out tribegroup.co. And by the way, there are tons and tons of platforms. There are new ones popping up all the time. So depending on your region or your niche, you might want to check it out. I mean, the easiest way is just to look up on Google influencer platforms, and you can join. It doesn't really cost you any money to join these, so if you can join them, it's great for you. The more you join, the more opportunities you'll have. There's a difference in quality, of course, but it will depend on, again, your niche or location. It might be different from country to country. Here's another example of another platform. This one is called iFluence, and again, you can join as an influencer or as a brand. And if you're an influencer, you will basically fill in a basic profile, and you'll be able to apply for gigs, and you'll be able to do this. Now, there's a different level of engagement of the platforms. Some of the platforms only serve as a search option, so basically create your profile and the companies can find you. And there's a spectrum, so only search is the simplest one, and the more complicated, where the platforms also actually handle the management of the campaign, the payment, and all these things. There's the other end of the spectrum. So if you join there, it's more sophisticated of a platform. When you work with the companies, obviously sometimes you can get paid, which is fantastic. But if you're maybe a small influencer, you don't have that many followers. Another way is that you don't get paid directly, but you get free stuff. So, for example, from hotels, you may be able to get free stays, you may get free products. And we know a lot of influencers that actually get a lot of free merchandise. And again, it will depend on your vertical and what kind of an influencer you are. So, for example, fashion influencers will get clothing, etc., etc. And the final third option to get gigs is to join an agency or get an agent. Now, this option is for the biggest influencers out there. So once you really, really grow, then it might make sense to get an agency or an agent to work for you. Now, again, this is for the much bigger ones, and they take a lot of the effort out of the job on your part. So if you hire an agency or an agent, they'll be able to find gigs for you, but also they take a certain cut, whatever that may be, 10-20% of the pay is what goes directly to them. Here I have an example of Fanbytes. That's one agency in the UK. They do quite well, and they work with influencers. They also help find companies. So depending on where you are, you might want to find an agency, and a simple way to do it, maybe just a quick Google search. You can do TikTok influencer agency or TikTok influencer agent. But again, this is more for the bigger influencers, and the case is that somebody has much more followers. And so whatever that might be, 500,000 followers, 1 million followers, maybe at that point you have so many influencer deals that you just can't handle management yourself. Best way to start off is either message the company directly yourself, reach out to them, offer them to do the job. Then other option is to join the platforms. And once you've done all of those and you have so many gigs that you just can't handle anymore, only then it might be something to consider doing an agency or getting an agent. In this case study, I wanted to share a bit of a personal story. So as I mentioned, I was on the influencer side myself, and actually I was a Red Bull sponsored athlete. So I got an influencer deal with Red Bull. And this was actually not on TikTok, it was on Instagram. It was just a few months back, but the same dynamics will apply to TikTok. So I just wanted to share sort of my experience and how that happened, because I've had next to basically 0 followers. On Instagram at the time I had 200 followers, so really nobody. But I ended up getting a deal with Red Bull, and I wasn't paid in cash, but I got basically an infinite supply of Red Bull, of the drinks. I ended up getting so many Red Bulls. So the way it happened is that I was preparing to run a marathon in Greenland. It's a really cool marathon. The first 5K directly on the ice sheet, and it's something I was preparing for months. And one of my friends actually has worked with Red Bull before on some other campaigns, and she knew me directly. And when I told her about it, she said that I should get in touch with Red Bull. So she connected us, and then we ended up talking, and we had a couple of meetings over Skype. And basically, I told them what I'm planning to do, why I'm doing it, what are the objectives, and they agreed to sponsor me. And not only did I get Red Bull, so I went to actually meet them in person, to the offices, and they just told me I can take as much Red Bull as I want. And I came back and I literally carried away, I don't know, like 100 cans of Red Bull. They also gave me like hats and some other sort of swag that you can't buy in the store, but only Red Bull athletes get. It's just something to show that you don't have to have a huge following. What really matters to a lot of brands is that you have passion for the brand, you're excited to work with the brand, you have a cool idea, and you are doing something cool in sort of real life outside of social media. So obviously it would be impossible to get a deal with Red Bull if I would just be posting sort of normal pictures on Instagram. What really got their attention is that I was going to do the marathon in Greenland, and it's one of the most extreme marathons in the world, like freezing cold temperatures, and it's one of the sort of toughest races in the world, and that's what they really like. So they didn't really care that I would not have that many followers. For them, what they really care about was the content. So I had a camera with me, I took a lot of pictures on the trip, a lot of videos, I ended up posting a lot of them, and also we wrote an article, and then Red Bull actually posted it on their official website, and they shared it around. One of the reasons why it was attractive for them, because I was the first person from my country to compete in that specific competition. So again, they thought that this might be a good idea. A lot of the national press, they would share the story, it would be in the news, some other social media, people might be sharing it. So even though I didn't have that many followers, but the story was so cool, they're up for actually doing it and sponsoring me. So if I wanted to continue with the Red Bull deal, I could have just gone more races. And also I used this Red Bull deal as an advantage to get other sponsorships. And as soon as I told other brands that I got a Red Bull deal, they were very happy to also work with me and either do product. And I didn't end up pursuing this further, but I would have been able to also get direct cash influencer deals with some of the extreme adventure sports. So just to show, it goes to say that you don't have to have a massive following. It's going to be the same on TikTok. But if you have a really cool story, or if you can be super creative and do something fun for the company, they might be able to do it without even having a huge following on your side. And you start off by just doing sort of maybe a product deal like I did with them, where they gave me the Red Bull cans and the merchandise, but then you have a relationship with the company, and then you can sort of build on and keep going from there. But you just want to get your foot in the door. So if you really want to get a deal yourself, and again, I would recommend be very creative on TikTok, do cool things in real life, and then reach out to brands and companies that you aspire to, that you think are fun, and that sort of you think would align with your personality. They're looking, for example, when I spoke with Red Bull, they had very specific characteristics they wanted in the people that they would sponsor. They wanted somebody adventurous and fun and out of the box. And at the time, that sort of fit my profile, and I was an athlete for a while. So this definitely what they wanted to communicate as well. So this is just one quick story to share. In the next lecture, we're going to take a look at some other case studies, specifically on TikTok, how companies sponsor influencers. In these case studies, I wanted to show you a couple of influencer campaigns done by the bigger companies. So if you want to check out the same, you can go into your profile, and then in the Discover tab, click on Search, and then look up #ad. Every ad needs to be tagged as an ad, and that's a legal requirement, so we can see all of them. Click on the hashtags, and then over here we see a list of all the sponsored campaigns. From the top are the most viewed and most popular, down to less and less viewed. So I want to show you a couple of them. They're super interesting. This one is done by Samsung. So on the bottom you can see Samsung Galaxy is sponsored, and it's sponsored into a band. And they're doing just a dance video. They're not actually showing the actual product, but the song they use is a sort of a funny song about the phone.
Like pink in the area, about to give you awesome life. Get it. Awesome screen, awesome camera, long lasting battery life. Awesome screen, awesome camera, long lasting battery life. Awesome screen, awesome camera, awesome screen, awesome camera, awesome screen, awesome camera, long lasting battery life.
As you can see here, it was talking about awesome screen, awesome camera. So that's the type of advertising that Samsung wanted to do. This is another campaign. This one is done by Zach King. Zach King tends to do a lot of really popular ads on TikTok. And this one is from D&W. Zach King is known for having very visual videos using video editing and sort of visual effects.
Yo, is this the one with the zero G seats? Dude, Nate, you should get inside. It's locked. All right, no worries. Go right there. Okay, stand still. Yes. Dude, these chairs are so soft. Yo, that recline though. Hey, what are you doing over there? Shoot, that's security. Nate, you're on your own.
Go.
You gotta go.
Don't leave me here.
Later.
So as you can see, this is a fun sort of video. I talked about the car interior, how it was comfortable. So that's another example that Zach King did. And this one I want to show you is from Chipotle. So Chipotle does a lot of campaigns. If you go ahead and click on the Chipotle profile, we see they just repost all of the influencer and user content. And this is a funny video about the Chipotle burrito.
It's 2 p.m. Get out of bed.
I want Chipotle.
I'm not getting you Chipotle.
I want Chipotle.
You turned on the shower like 30 minutes ago.
I want Chipotle.
You're wasting water. Go for her.
I'm a burrito.
A Chipotle burrito.
Uh-huh.
Take my phone and order some food, please, so you can get out of bed.
So it's here.
Oh my gosh. What did you buy?
Everything.
Culverts.
So as you can see over here, Chipotle wanted to emphasize the deliveries, and they showed a big Chipotle delivery box in the video. This is the last one I want to show you. This one is by Charli D'Amelio. She's one of the biggest creators on TikTok, if not the biggest one. And she did a campaign with EOS. It's a cosmetics company. So yeah, these are just some of the campaigns. What you can do is basically scroll through these and you can find some other companies and get inspiration. But that are just some of the case studies for the influencer campaigns the big companies do. And these were the biggest companies that we've seen because it was the most popular videos. There's a ton of really, really small influencer campaigns also happening by tiny companies. They may not be as easily searchable, but it does happen for small influencers as well. In the next video, we're going to take a look at how to promote other people's products, but not using influencer marketing, but using affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing has been around for a very long time, and a lot of people on Instagram and TikTok are actually doing quite well using affiliate marketing to make money on the social media platforms. In this lecture, we're going to take a look at affiliate marketing. What does it mean? How do you actually do it? And by the end of the lecture, you'll be able to understand how it works and if it's something that you should try for your own profile. Affiliate marketing is different than influencer marketing. With influencer marketing, a company will pay you upfront to promote a product. Now, with affiliate marketing, you still get paid by the company, but not upfront. You get paid after you deliver results. Usually it works with links. So a company will give you a link. You can put this link into your profile, and then when somebody clicks on this link and buys a product, you get a cut of that product. Affiliate marketing has been around for a super long time, started back in blogs actually. So bloggers would talk about a certain product or talk about any topic, and they could mention a product, and people could click on the product and then purchase it. This is where originally affiliate marketing started. And the benefit of this is that you don't have to have a direct relationship with the company, and you have much more control. So you can sell the product any way you want. You can show it any way you want. You can sell it and communicate it any way. You don't really have any directions from the company. They don't really care about how you show it. All they care about is getting the actual sale, and then they're going to give you a percentage of that sale. The specific percentage depends on the company and the actual product. Now, it is impossible to estimate how much you can earn this way because it really depends on the product and the influencer and all of the different ways. It's not just the number of followers that you have, number of views, but it also matters what kind of audience you have. So you can have 1 million followers, but if they're all located in a low-income country, for example, and if they're a low-income demographic, they don't have a disposable income, you're probably not going to generate much revenue. But if your followers and your viewers are very engaged, they trust you as a person, if you recommend the product, and you really have a relationship with your followers, they're much more likely to buy. Of course, if they're from a wealthy country in a demographic that has a lot of disposable income, it's much easier for you to monetize that kind of an audience. But again, your followers have to trust you, and you have to only promote products that you really believe are the best. Otherwise, you're going to lose that trust, and the trust is the only thing we have in the social media world. So to recap, now you know that affiliate marketing has been around for a long time. It normally works with links. You don't have to have a direct relationship with the company. As long as you get the link from them, you can just promote it to your own users. And you also know that just because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean they're actually going to purchase your product. So what really matters is the match between the right product for the right users and having the trust of those users. In the next lecture, we're going to look at some specific examples of specific platforms or companies that offer this kind of affiliate marketing. The most famous ones are ClickBank, or Amazon has an affiliate program. And we're going to actually do a walkthrough to a couple of them. In this lecture, we're going to take a look at some of the affiliate marketing options that you might have. Now, there are two main ways of affiliate marketing. Number one is affiliate marketing programs. For example, Amazon has an affiliate program, or ClickBank is another famous one for affiliate programs. Another one is a lot of companies have their own affiliate programs. So this could be anything from big companies to small. For example, TAP Airline, which is the Portuguese airline, has their own affiliate marketing. A lot of the other bigger companies might have the same. So let's take a look at some of them. The first one we have over here is ClickBank. Once you log into ClickBank and create an account, you'll be able to select the categories of the products that you want to sell. A lot of categories over here. So we're going to go ahead and I chose health and fitness. And once you choose a category, you'll get a big list of products that are for sale. So basically, these are other companies that list their products, and then you can choose to promote the product. And then every time you make a sale, you get a certain commission on that product. So you can have, over here, you can see there's a couple of different search criteria that you can use to select the best products for you, the required, for example, language or any other requirements that might be ideal for you. And then you will get some details. You can click through every single of the products and then get more of the information, and you can choose to promote any specific product. And you can see what is the average sale and some of the other numbers that you see over here that are important for affiliate marketing. Now, one thing to note that it might seem quite easy at first. A lot of people sort of get tricked into affiliate marketing because they see big numbers. They're like, oh, I can make a sale. But actually, to convince your followers or to convince anybody to purchase a product can be quite difficult. So definitely you should try it out if you think this is the right fit, but also keep your expectations right. And the best way is just to sort of get started, and then you'll see how it goes. So this is an example of a health and fitness category for ClickBank. The next one is Rakuten Marketing. This is a very similar platform. Again, once you log in and create an account, you'll be able to see the different categories that are possible to sell. And I've went ahead and selected one of the categories, which is in the cosmetics. And again, it's very similar to ClickBank. You'll get a list of the companies that are advertising. You can read more about them. If you click through, you'll get actually the details of each one of the deals. And you'll see also what is the commission. So for example, in here it's 15% base commission. So whatever the sale of the product you make, you get 15% off of that, 6%, 5%. So most of the affiliates you'll see are, from my experience, between 5% to 15%. You'll see some of the lower, some are higher, but that's the approximate range that you will be hitting. Now, obviously, the more the expensive the product, the more you're going to make, but also the more difficult it is to sell a specific product. So making 15% off of $10 is not that much, but off of $1,000, it already means something. Next up, we have Amazon. So Amazon, obviously the biggest e-commerce platform in the Western world. And it's very similar to what we've seen on ClickBank and Rakuten. It's just that Amazon has their own specific affiliate program, so you can sell any products directly that are listed on Amazon. Now, this is a huge advantage because Amazon is a trusted marketplace. People know Amazon, they buy from Amazon every day. And when you send people to other marketplaces, for example, on ClickBank or like through Rakuten or some of the other, they will land on landing pages that they're not familiar with. Maybe if it's a landing page for a specific product they're not familiar with, they may not trust it as much, and they might be hesitant to buy. But if you send them to Amazon, and they land on Amazon pages, they can see the reviews, they can see that it's a legit product and people have bought it before, they're much more likely to actually buy that product. So here we have an example. It shows you can earn 8% commission on furniture, over here 5% digital music, 8% on Kindle and tablets. So they have all these different categories, and then you can earn different percentages on them based on a category. Again, most of these are between 5 and 10%, over here 7% on Echo. So if you do have a good following, this actually could be a good way to sell products. Again, the products must be something that falls within your category, within your niche. If you have fashion blogging and you're a fashion influencer on TikTok, maybe it's not a good idea to sell hardware products. You should do something within fashion, within your specific niche, because your users will buy products that are relevant to that niche, because that's what they trust you and your opinion on that specific niche. And then the final one, we have an affiliate program. So this is from TAP Air Portugal. It is the Portuguese airline, and they have their own specific affiliate programs. They're not on ClickBank or Rakuten or Amazon, obviously, but they do have their own program, and you can register and then become an affiliate for airline. So a lot of the bigger companies will have their own affiliate programs, and they'll also do, again, a lot of the commissions are very similar, between 5 to 15%. And you can see that you can earn a commission on every sale that you make, and there's a long Q&A, etc., etc. So I think my best recommendation would be find the companies that you like the most, the one companies that really gets you excited, the products that you absolutely love, and try to reach out to them first, see if they have an affiliate program. If you can't find them, or the ones that you like